I was talking to a friend the other day, and we landed on an image. Leading a business right now feels like steering a ship into waters where the old maps are useless. If you're feeling and thinking that, this video is for you. The maps you once trusted, the ones that guided you, your strategy, your hiring, your marketing, they are just no longer valid. The rise of artificial intelligence isn't some ripple that you can just wait out. It's already tugging at the hull of your business, a tide that's quickly becoming a tsunami. And here's the dilemma. For centuries, we imagined leaders as captains, standing tall on the deck, shouting orders to the crew. But today, maybe we don't need captains. Maybe today the world needs something different. Leaders today needs to become navigators. Let me break down this metaphor and land it for you very quickly. The sea is the market, constantly moving, unpredictable, sometimes calm, sometimes violent. The winds are the macro forces, technology, culture, economics. They can fill your sails or shred them to pieces. The ship is your business. Doesn't matter if you're an executive working for a business or if you are leading your own venture. The ballast is your resilience, your capital reserves, your principles, the mental clarity that keeps you upright when a storm hits. The crew is your team, the people rowing beside you or helping you with the sails, keeping everything working. For too long, we have assumed the leader's role is just to be a captain. But the truth is, the leader's greatest value today comes from being a navigator. Because when the old maps of meaning disappear, when the stars in the sky shift and you are just uncharted waters, the crew doesn't need louder commands. They need someone who can read the unseen, who can chart a new path and guide them to the crossing. This brings us to a vital framework from Nassim Taleb: fragile, robust, and antifragile. Fragile is a strategy that clings to a familiar shoreline. Leaders hope that AI won't impact so much their market, it's just a hype, the tide won't rise. Those businesses are the first ones to be swept away. A robust strategy builds walls, resources for defense, try to resist. It tries to have more capital, throw more money or more bodies at the problem. It's fighting to survive longer. But when a tsunami of change comes, even the strongest walls crack and they're not effective. And then you have the fragile strategy. That's a different thing. Instead of you staying protracted or staying away from dealing with the main problem, you set and you go with the wave. You turn volatility into momentum. And you just don't survive the shocks, it feeds on them. Let me pause and ask you, right now in your business or your career, are you clinging to the shore, building walls, or you have already pushed out to the sea? There is something very counterintuitive about tsunamis. When one starts to arise, the instinct is to run inland. But often, the safest places isn't inland, it's out in the sea, where the ship can rise with the crest instead of being smashed by it. Business today face the same choice: stay put or risk being swept away, engulfed. Retreat and defend and eventually be overrun, or move with the tide, building enough speed and momentum to reach escape velocity. It's very easy to check where your business is right now. If your organization has an AI policy that is restricted and is built out of fear, or out of fear only, of the negative impacts of AI in security and the organization, you probably will have a very strong lead to what that means. On the other hand, if you're experimenting, fast developing new solutions using AI, it's very likely that you are far deep in the sea, understanding the movement that's happening in the market. AI is the wave that will either crush you or propel you beyond the gravity of the old system. Metaphors are only useful if they lead to action. So what does it take to lead as a navigator in this new ocean? I believe there are 3 principles. First one is protect the ballast. Your reserves, your financial reserves, are oxygen, cash reserves. Protect time for deep thinking, the psychological stability that you have for yourself and for the teams that you lead. These are what keep the ship upright in a storm. Without a ballast, even the most innovative ship capsizes. With it, you have the freedom to explore without risking collapse in the shocks that are happening in the market. The first principle. The second principle is calibrate the crew. A ship survives not only because of the machineries, the structural integrity. It survives because of its crew. In a storm, skill and alignment matter more than anything. So calibrate your teams. Calibrate the people that are with you out in the storm. That means that folks need to master new skills for charting and making the most of this moment. It means that every hand needs to know what to do. And it means building a culture where certainty does not paralyze, but energizes. Think about your team right now. Are they aligned around the same horizon, or are they rowing east while some waters drift west? And the third part is embrace the navigator's mindset. The temptation for leaders is always to stay on deck, pulling ropes, fixing sails, managing every detail. But this is a new ocean. Your highest value is not in micromanaging. It's in stepping into the navigation room. Your role is to see patterns where the others miss, is interpret what's coming. To set a clear course into the unknown. That's how we transform turbulence into discovery. We often frame disruption as a disaster. But disruption is also discovery. The same storm that drowns one ship is the one that carries the other to new continents. AI is not just another wave, it's a fundamental change in the ocean currents themselves. The question isn't if the waters will rise, they are already here. The real question is, will you learn to navigate them? And perhaps the true legacy of leaders today isn't reaching some final shore. It is becoming the navigators that others can trust when the horizon disappears. So I will leave you with this. Are you still trying to be a captain, shouting commands on deck? Or have you stepped in the role of a navigator? Welcome to the shift.